How much is this?
Yeah.
What else is there?
Well, remember those questions about Israeli food we went over earlier?
Yeah.
They're really more than just about what you eat. They're a way to learn about Israeli culture and traditions.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Food is such a big part of any culture. And in Israel, with all its different influences, I bet it's even more fascinating.
You're right. The food there reflects a blend of so many different backgrounds and histories. And when you ask someone, Ata okel Israeli, can you eat Israeli food? Or Ata okel Israeli, do you like Israeli food? You're not just asking about their diet. You're showing an interest in their culture.
Right, like you're saying, tell me about your world through the lens of food.
Exactly. Food is a great way to break the ice and get people talking. It often leads to stories about family recipes, regional differences, all sorts of interesting things.
Yeah, and who doesn't love talking about food?
It's a universal language. Okay, so we've talked about the importance of asking what's wrong and explored the world of Israeli cuisine. Anything else we should cover from this cheat sheet? Let's revisit that evocative question. Ek mezek havir ba'Yerushalayim. Remember what it means.
Of course. What's the weather like in Jerusalem? I like that one. Makes you feel like you're right there, almost.
Exactly. It highlights how language isn't just about communicating information. It's about experiencing another place.
Yeah, it sparks your imagination and makes you think about what it would be like to actually be there.
And that's what makes language learning so much fun. It's not just about words and grammar. It's about the stories, the connections, It opens up a whole new world.
Absolutely. It's about seeing the world through new eyes, hearing it through new sounds. It's about expanding your horizons one conversation at a time.
I love how you put that. And, we've been focusing on asking questions in Hebrew. But of course, communication is a two-way street.
Right. We need to be able to answer those questions too.
Absolutely. So as you continue exploring Hebrew, try to go beyond just understanding the questions. Challenge yourself to come up with your own responses.
Oh, that's a good idea. So it's about actively engaging with the language, not just passively absorbing it.
Exactly. Think about how you would express yourself, share your thoughts, make it personal.
I like that challenge. It makes it much more interactive.
And remember, don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's all part of the learning process.
Yeah, I need to remember that. I tend to get a little too caught up in trying to be perfect.
It's okay to stumble. The more you practice, the more natural and confident you'll become.
Yeah.
So experiment, try new phrases, and most importantly, have fun with it.
All right, welcome back to our Hebrew deep dive. After going through all of these phrases, I'm kind of feeling inspired. I think I might need to book a trip to Tel Aviv.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's amazing how even just a few phrases, even if you don't become completely fluent, can really change how you experience another culture.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like you're showing respect, right? Showing that you care enough to at least try.
Exactly. It shows you're making an effort.
Yeah.
And it opens up these little moments of connection that you just wouldn't have otherwise.
Right. Like even just a simple thank you in the local language can just change the whole interaction,
Yeah, it really can. It's like an instant bond. You're sharing something.
Mm.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of great phrases from this cheat sheet, but there's one thing I'm still curious about. We learned how to ask someone's name, Ich korim leka.
Right.
But how do you tell someone your name in Hebrew?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I didn't even think about that.
So it's actually really simple. You would say Korim Li, and then your name.
Oh, okay.
So for example, Korim Li Sarah.
Korim Lisera. Got it.
Exactly.
So it's like saying, my name is Aika.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so that makes sense. And I assume, like with the other phrases, the pronunciation changes slightly depending on whether the speaker is male or female.
You got it. Those little gender distinctions are important. They're part of what makes your Hebrew sound natural.
Yeah. And respectful, too. I'm seeing how every phrase has like a whole layer of cultural understanding woven into it.
It's true. It's not just about the words themselves, but the context they come from. It's a whole way of thinking.
Okay, well, I'm really impressed with how thorough this cheat sheet is. We've covered so much ground, from basic greetings to food to more personal questions. It's pretty amazing.
It's a great little toolkit, isn't it? Like a mini survival guide for navigating Israeli culture and conversations.
Definitely a good place to start. And the best part is, it makes me want to learn even more.
That's the goal. It's like we've planted a seed, and now it's up to each listener to see where it takes them.
Maybe one day they'll be fluent enough to have their own deep dives into Hebrew literature or history.
Exactly. The possibilities are endless.
That's so cool. It really is amazing how language learning can open so many doors, even if you never reach perfect fluency. Just the effort of trying is so rewarding.
It is, because it's about so much more than just the language itself. It's about broadening your perspective, connecting with different cultures, pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone.
So well said. All right, well, I think it's about time for us to wrap up our Hebrew deep dive. But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with a little challenge.
Ooh, I like a challenge. What do you have in mind?
I challenge everyone to pick just one phrase from this cheat sheet, any phrase that really spoke to them, and try to use it in real life this week.
Oh, I love that.
Right. So maybe it's greeting your neighbor with mashlomka or asking a coworker ata raev when it's lunchtime. Just, get out there and use it.
Take it off the page and into the world. That's how you really learn.
Exactly. And remember, don't worry if you stumble a bit. It's all part of the process.
Embrace those imperfections. Every time you try a new phrase, you're not just speaking a language, you're creating a connection.
That's a great way to put it. All right, well, on that note, we're signing off. Thanks for joining us for this Hebrew deep dive. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those conversations flowing.